y'all, we're out here in the garden to do a garden harvest. It's only been 6 days since the last time of doing a garden harvest. This is Friday instead of Saturday, so we're busy on Saturday, so we're doing it on Friday. We're gonna go ahead and pick some of these tomatoes. This is like our big slicer tomato bed, and we've on top of having the really hot temperatures this week, we had temperatures that were in the hundreds, and our heat index was 115. It was a really rough week, and not only have we had really high temperatures, we are also having more issues with pests. As you can tell, they are still getting the tomatoes. I'm gonna leave these in hopes that maybe they eat these and not keep eating new tomatoes. Maybe just be wishful thinking, but I'm going to try and see. But I'm not sure if it's the raccoons or what it is, but they are really getting our tomatoes really bad. They're even getting our hummingbird feeders. Like every morning I come out there, the hummingbird feeders are down, and the poor babies are like freaking out and don't know what to do because there's no food. But I hope that whatever it is, it stops. We usually have issues with raccoons about this time of year for, I don't know, what do you say, Robert, a month or two?
Yeah, about a month or so.
Yeah, and they are really destructive. So I'm not really sure how well we'll do in the garden this week. Last week I said that there probably wouldn't be a whole lot in the garden, and we actually ended up with quite a lot. But I'm not so sure this week if it's going to be that way or not. But we do have something extra that we didn't have last time. So maybe, just maybe, I think that I've seen a few on the back here that we'll get. I thought, maybe not. I guess this one. Do you see any others I missed? Because I'm notorious for missing things.
I don't see any.
Okay. Well, good. I don't have the sun blaring into my eyes quite as bad today, so hopefully I'll be able to see a little bit better. This bed here is where I did all of my paste tomatoes, and they have been super productive this year. This is the Shelby variety, and I have been super happy with this one. It has been super productive, and I really like it too. It's a really thick Roma tomato, paste tomato. I guess it's technically not a Roma tomato, it's more of a paste tomato. But it has done really good, and I am very happy with it. It has, I think I have 3 plants total, and we have picked so many tomatoes off of these. It is crazy. They are doing really good. Did I miss that one? Okay. Thank you. Oh, something's done got it. Yep.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that one's no good at all. Whew.
There's 2 on the end down here.
Yeah, I seen that. I was about to head that way. Thank you. So get these, and I think there might even be some on the other side too. We'll go see if we can get those. Excuse me for getting in the way of the camera there. Oh yeah, there's a lot back here. Wow. This thing has done amazing, and I got my seeds at Haas Tools. That's where I got these from, and they have done great. They're like my favorite place to get seeds, especially for peppers. They carry all the pepper varieties that I love so much. I need to get out here and get the basil for too long too. I was noticing that I am just about out of that. I have been making so much sauce. I've been doing it with the fresh, and sometimes I make it really late at night, and I have to use my dried, and I am almost out of that, so I need to come out here and do that as well. I did not realize I was so low on that. So I think, let's see, I think we're into the Tachi tomatoes now. This is another paste tomato, and this is supposed to be better for like dry, hot climates, which usually we are, and we have been this week. But this spring we kind of were more cool and wet compared to usual, and it kind of struggled, especially because we had a lot of rain in the early spring. I honestly didn't think these plants were going to make it, but they pulled through, and they're still doing pretty good. These tomatoes are a lot longer and not quite as fat, but they are still really good. And I'm thinking I may end up trying different varieties of paste tomatoes next year. So if y'all have any suggestions for me, I would appreciate that if you leave that in the comments down below of some of your favorite ones. And there's still more in here. Oh, that one's not good. I tell you, these whatever these critters are that's getting this, they are doing a number. But but they are really good. I have made so much sauce this year. My goal was to grow enough for the year, and I think we are probably going to make that. I have so much in the freezer. I am running out of freezer space, so I am having to be a little bit creative with how I'm putting things up. I am starting to dehydrate it and see. I experimented with that over the winter to see. I just make like my own sauce out of just like cans of tomato sauce and herbs and stuff, and I tried dehydrating that to see if it would even like turn out okay, and it did. So I'm going to be doing that with some of our sauce. I did that with my last batch because I just am running out of freezer space so fast.
My God, look at the stalk on that okra.
Yeah, this
It's
is like
a tree.
and the leaves are so big too. This is like the biggest I have ever had our okra
Thing
grow.
is insane.
It is. It is crazy how big it is. My mom was even telling me that her okra this year is a lot taller than what it usually is. So I usually do the burgundy okra, and it is beautiful in like, I do like pickled okra, and it is beautiful with that. But I decided to try and go for more production this year. So we're growing several different varieties. We'll just go ahead and move on to that, and we'll come around. Do you want to go this way or that way?
I don't care.
Okay.
Are all them tomatoes over there?
I'll probably pick them up while I'm back there. I thought maybe if I can remember. But this variety here is one that I had got from Baker Creek, and it's the end of the day, so all the pretty flowers have already closed up, unfortunately, but they are really pretty. They're kind of like hibiscus looking flowers, and they are really, really beautiful. This one here, I don't know if I said what it was. It was like high producing or something like that. That's the variety it is. And I really don't like my okras to get really big. I like them probably about this size, maybe slightly bigger. I prefer that. I said I do the refrigerator pickles. That's what I do with them, and that's the way. I just think they're so much sweeter. They're not nearly as tough. I like them that way a lot better. And I see some bigger ones in here.
Little science lesson for you guys. You see on this flower, there's a whole bunch of, well, now they're moving. There's a whole bunch of ants crawling around in there. If I can get the camera to focus on it. See them ants crawling? What them ants are doing is they are coming up the stalks of this okra plant, and they're finding the aphids. And what they do is they literally milk the aphids, and they eat the milk from the aphids. So that's something that's kind of cool. And if you've ever walked through your garden and it's a perfectly sunny day and you feel little raindrops, those aren't raindrops. Those are spittle bugs. And they're like, especially if you have an arbor or something like that, they'll sit up on the arbor and they'll spit on you. And Carrie and the kids, when I first showed them that, we had them really, really thick one year. And you walk through and it was literally like they were raining. It was raining on you.
Yeah, we've always had them really bad on our noodle beans, like the Chinese or asparagus long beans. For some reason, they are really bad on those.
But there's a lot of stuff going on in your garden that you don't know about, that ecosystems within ecosystems. But look at the size of the trunk of this thing. I mean, that's my hand.
Yeah, and this is the what is it called? Star of David okra. I got these seeds from the Dollar General for $1. And this, you can see how like chunky the okra is, and it grows a lot fatter than it does long. So that's one thing to consider. I'm not sure if I'm going to like it yet. I just did a batch of refrigerator pickles, and I'm actually going to have that video coming out pretty soon. So I'll share all that, how I make it. But I'm not sure if I'm going to like these or not, because they are going to be a little harder to get out of the jar. But they are really, really productive. So far, these have been way more productive than the ones that are supposed to be super productive that we had got from Baker Creek. They were saying that these ones were supposed to have like 250 okra per plant.
Yeah, so, they're starting to put on pretty good though.
They're doing better. They're just a little slower to get started.
Yeah,
I think
maybe they're a little later season.
Yeah. I'll get in here and see what I can find. I think some of these tomatoes are bad. It looks like most of them are. Only a few I can get. Yeah, so I'm gonna leave them hoping that the critters end up eating those instead of the others. I'm not sure if they actually will or not.
I just can't get over the size of the stalks on them okra. We've been growing okra for basically the entire time we've had a garden, yeah. And I've never seen stalk on an okra plant like that.
Yeah, they are really awesome this year. We didn't get a whole lot, but I was just out here this week and picked like, I think almost 2 pounds because I was making my pickled okra. So yeah. We don't have a ton right now. Okay, so I guess we'll work on the cherry tomatoes next, I guess. And our sweet potatoes are going wild.
Yeah, they're crazy. They're all the way out here. I don't worry about them though. I step on them and they don't mind.
Yeah, they are super chill about that. And if you,
there've been ones that have grown out into the yard, and I've mowed over them, and they literally just don't care.
Yeah, and if you are in the South, they are one of the easiest things to grow. Like they can withstand drought pretty well, and they do amazing.
Hi, Mr. Bee.
And are super productive too. Is it a baby one?
No, he was a big one.
Oh.
So all of y'all out there who have this misconception, which a lot of people do, those great big bees like that, a lot of people call them bumblebees.
Flying pandas.
Flying pandas, whatever you want to call them. Those bees do not have stingers. So do not be scared of them. They will not harm you. I have literally held them in my hand as they were napping, and they woke up and flew off.
Yeah.
They will not harm you. They are wonderful for your garden.
Yeah, we let our kids do it, everything. They won't hurt you. They are super sweet.
They do not have a stinger, so they cannot sting you.
And they are really good in the garden. They probably pollinated a lot of these tomatoes here.
Yeah, probably most of these tomatoes are due to them because we only get a lot of honeybees generally early in the season.
Yeah.
Because
in the spring,
they come for the hummingbird feeders and try to drink the nectar out of the hummingbird feeders because they're lazy and they don't want to go find their own food.
That is a challenge to keep them out of the hummingbird feeders too.
I've had to re-educate so many people on bumblebees.
But they are awesome. They are super cute. We even find little baby ones sometimes, and they go sleep in flowers.
Yeah, they will. You'll find them asleep inside flowers, and they just nap. Sweet.
But they are absolutely amazing. Gardens would not do nearly as good if it wasn't for them. And even like the hummingbirds, they come and pollinate the flowers and stuff too. Yeah. We see them all the time, even at the tomatoes, and they love the flowers. They are all the time at the flowers. I used to think that they only use the hummingbird feeders, and I started watching them a little more closely, and they do. They go to the flowers, just go to one right after another. Whew, it is still pretty warm out here today. And there are a lot more cherry tomatoes this time than there were last time.
It's kind of funny you said that. Woo, it's still pretty warm out here today, and the phone said device is getting warm.
Well, I guess I'm not the only one that's getting warm.
So if it cuts off, y'all know the deal. We'll be back. We just have to let the phone cool off.
Even the sweet potato vines are like climbing up the trellis there. Well, I think that's everything. I know there may be a few more. Do you want to go on this side and here? Okay, there's a few more on the inside here. I am pretty much been swimming in tomatoes. So if I miss some here or there, I'm okay with it. I have so many to process. I finally got through all of the ones from last week. That was a lot to do. I feel like I've been making so many batches of sauce. That's the negative of trying to learn to do more each year. You just keep adding on to it and adding on, and it kind of becomes overwhelming sometimes. But it is so worth it because it is way better than anything we can find here.
Yeah, and you know exactly what's in your food.
Yeah.
We were reading about some chemical today, and it's like, oh my goodness, it's in everything, and it's like an industrial chemical, but they use it in almost every food.
Yeah, like a lot of baked goods we were finding out.
Yeah. And it's like, I'm not going to eat this stuff anymore.
I've been trying to convince him of that for a while, but I think he might be a little more convinced now.
But sometimes, you go to the store or you go out to town or whatever, and it's just easier to pick up a bag of chips or, a little Debbie and a drink or something like that. But a lot of these things that we have in our food here in the United States are banned throughout the world.
Yeah.
Like they don't even allow them to be used in food there.
Yeah, the things we were looking up, they were. It was kind of scary.
Like we're the only country in the world that allows the use of them.
It is really wild. So
all those Snow Whites are ready too.
Oh, are they? Okay. I didn't realize that. Yeah, that plant is super, super stressed. These are a Snow White variety of cherry tomato, and these are super, super good. Some of the others I was picking before were Sun Golds, and I also down here have Sun Sugars, and those are all really good, high-producing tomatoes, especially cherry tomatoes. Man, there's a lot. And we also, I usually don't ever talk about it, but we also have this Malabar spinach. It has kind of taken over and it keeps going further and further.
Up and up.
This is basically kind of like a spinach replacement. It's a green that grows here in the summertime, and it does really good. Like, you don't have to do anything special with it, and honestly, it replants itself if you just let it go to seed. I have not planted it in years. It is really, really amazing. It's a little bit kind of like the okra and a little bit mucilaginous, I guess is how you say it. And it's a little bit like that, but if you need a
slimy.
Green, yeah, if you need a green in the summertime, that's about the best you can get in the South, I think. I've yet to find lettuce or anything that works really good here. So
you can do dandelions when we have them, but
that's true.
We don't usually have a whole lot of them in the spring.
Oh, there's more down here. Oh my goodness.
Sorry guys, I didn't mean to ring the wind chimes on you.
We were out here the other night watering the garden after that garden harvest and hitting the hose with them, and it sounded really cool. And our flowers are really about done. Like, these are our perennial Mexican sunflowers, and they are hardly, this is like all the flowers I have. Everything is so stressed after this week we had. It has been really, really hard on it.
Including us.
Yeah. And even all the critters too. Like, we were having to fill up the bird baths a couple times a day. Even they were like coming to the window panting.
Yeah.
The poor things. It was rough on them. Let's see. These ones are the sun sugar, and I have walked right past a whole bunch of them here. And the Malabar spinach is wrapped itself up all around it.
That's all right. It makes a good tie up.
Yeah.
You don't have to tie it up. It ties it up all on its own.
It works great for that.
Call that the symbiotic relationship.
Yeah. A good little companion plant.
Yeah.
Just tie it up for you. Do y'all do any companion planting? I have found that like planting herbs and stuff in the gardens helps a lot. I used to do a lot more of that. I kind of took a lot of them out whenever I put this ground cover down, but I have found that helps a lot with pests and stuff. We're starting to have issues with tomato hornworms, and they used to help a lot with that. So I may have to go back to putting them back in the garden. And you can see the store-bought Snow White tomato, it didn't make it. It didn't make it at all. And this one here died too. I was trying to remember. I think that was my Tigerilla. I was really excited about that plant. It's been a while since I grew it, and it didn't make it either.
I think you only got like 1 or 2 tomatoes off of it too.
Yeah, I didn't get very much. So do you want to go to the in-ground garden, I guess? Or?
I guess so, yeah.
Okay, is the phone doing okay?
Well, so far.
Okay, good deal. Well, we'll go ahead and come to the poor in-ground garden, and you'll really see evidence of how rough of a week it was. This poor garden. Look, the peppers are already pre-roasted.
Yeah. And this is after watering it yesterday.
Yes, yeah.
Watering the heck out of it yesterday.
Did. We watered it a lot, and it's still this bad. So it probably isn't going to make it. I've been trying to think if there's something I can do if I decide to pull it all up. It's so wet and dry. I don't think I could get any like sunflowers or anything to make it. I would like to. Most of mine didn't end up making this year. I think they just didn't have enough of space. The what is it called? I'm trying to remember what these are called. They're not hibiscus. What are they? I'm trying to.
Echinacea.
No, I can't remember. It's escaping
I
me.
don't know all these flowers. There's so
Maybe it
many
is a
of them.
hibiscus. I'm not sure. But anyways, it has like really taken over. And speaking of echinacea, this was my echinacea plant. Even it is drying up. And I thought it was supposed to be a pretty drought tolerant plant. So I don't know. I don't know if I just don't have the soil right in that bed yet, because it is relatively new. And if y'all are new to gardening, it is kind of a struggle until you can get the soil in a better condition. You may struggle a lot more the first year or two, and then it just kind of gets better from there. Usually about year 7, it really starts to do a lot better. So don't get discouraged if you're new and starting out, because it does take time to build the soil up. We have put lots and lots of compost down, and it has taken a long time to get our soil to where it's really nice and plants are happy. They really are happy in the in-ground, or yeah, the raised bed garden, not the in-ground garden. But they're still barely holding on. I think these tomatoes here are probably going to be the last of what we're going to get, because I don't think they're going to make it much longer.
I don't think so either.
This is kind of their last hurrah. So I think that's good for tomatoes.
I think there's some on the other side.
Was there? There's the lantana.
Yeah.
Here, I was going to show.
It
actually has got a little more flowers on it. This lantana I had got at Walmart. It hasn't gotten very tall, but it has blooms all over it. And over here is a lantana I had got at the farm store, and it's a lot bigger, but it has hardly any blooms on it. So I don't know which is better to do, but I thought that was kind of funny. I always try and notice things like that and observe what's doing good and what's not. Well, where's these ones I missed? Oh, okay. These are the Brad's Atomic Grape tomatoes. Oh, some of them, and I've had a lot of issues with them splitting. See that? They split like that. I got these seeds at Dollar General for $1 too. You can get them at Baker Creek, and they're a lot more expensive. But they are super small in the in-ground garden, but they're okay. They kind of have that purple tomato, kind of like the black crimp tomato. They kind of taste like that, and they are pretty good. We like them all right. They're not nearly as good as black crimp tomatoes.
I forgot there was a Snow White over here.
Yeah. I got Miss Moore, didn't I? I forgot that was Snow White as well. Right, here, I might could go to the other side and get it.
All right.
See, I'm not the best. There is a lot to.
When there's so much to look at, you miss so much.
Yeah.
So that's the old saying, you're missing the forest for the trees.
I definitely fall into that. Okay, well, I guess we'll come over here. Do you think we need to give the phone time to cool off? Or
yeah, we'll stop for a few minutes and set up and do these peppers real quick. Okay,
we'll be back in a minute. Okay, we're back, hopefully for a while. I don't know, the phone says it's hot. So Robert's going to come and harvest the peppers. This is his favorite. He loves getting to harvest the peppers.
We don't have a whole lot of them, honestly. It's, they've been really stressed this week.
Yeah. A lot of people say that they like hot weather, but they only like it to a certain extent. Like we have found that it is really hard on them, especially in like the hundreds and even high 90s. They really struggle.
If you notice, all these new ones that have been put on, the only reason they're putting these on is because we've watered them.
Yeah.
Before they had stopped putting anything on.
And they were just covered in blooms.
Yeah.
And with them cooler days that we had, they were doing really good.
It got hot, and they said, that's enough.
We grow several different varieties of peppers. Our favorite and #1 pepper is the gypsy pepper. That's these up here. That is our absolute favorite. We're trying a new pepper that he's got here. This is the Lisa pepper from Baker Creek.
There's another indication of heat. As you see, these peppers are ripening long before they're mature, and there's no, at least on these Zulu peppers, there's no bug damage on them, and they're already starting to turn purple.
Yeah, everything is super stressed after this week. But another thing I like to do is grow sweet potatoes under the peppers. I have found that they are a great companion plant, and they protect the soil, kind of keep it a little more moist and the sun off of them, and they have done great. we're doing a pepper experiment this year. Down here is the way that I usually grow the sweet, or not peppers, that's sweet potato experiment. Down here is usually how I grow them. And I started them a new way, and you can see how beautiful and lush they are. I'm hoping that they're doing the same thing underground. That will be the deciding factor of how well they produce based upon which method we'll go with. But I am really excited about that. And look at the sweet potato vines. Like, they are all the way there. They're just coming out everywhere. And another variety of peppers that we really like is this King Arthur pepper. This is like the best producing bell pepper that I found. I love it so much. It is super, super productive.
But even they're stressed.
Yeah, usually they're a lot thicker and a lot more than what they have on them right now. It has been a really rough week on everything.
Usually through the summertime, we'll get bouts of rain here and there, a thunderstorm or something. And this year, once the rain quit, it quit.
Yeah.
But we've had years like that before too, where once the rain stops, it stops. See, this is
oh goodness, it's
all
got
due to the sun.
really bad.
The sun just roasted it.
Yep, pre-roasted, and that one's no good. And that's another thing, like if you live in the South, they may struggle through the summer, but if you can keep them alive through the summer, whenever it cools off in the fall, they'll like put on a whole nother flush and do super good. They'll be like super happy all over again.
Yeah.
So we can usually count on several good crops in the fall, as long as it doesn't stay super hot. How about y'all? Are y'all starting to work on your fall gardens? That's what I'm planning on doing tomorrow. I'm planning on getting a bunch of my plants started for the fall. I wanted to get some new seeds, but I just don't think that's in the budget. So I'm just going to be resourceful and use up some of our old seeds that we have. I've been shocked by how long like brassica seeds last. I have some that are probably 10 years old, like kale and stuff, and they do amazing. I can't believe that. I guess they're kind of like the tomatoes.
I was going to ask you, for all of us who don't know, tell us what a brassica is.
Oh, okay. That's like kale and broccoli and cauliflower and those types of plants. But that's what it is. Those are the types of things you usually plant in the fall, along with your like turnips and radishes and carrots and those types of things.
Yeah, we have to be sure and plant the radishes so the little dog can dig up his radishes every day.
He loves that. We did that last year, and he thought that was the best thing ever, to get to do that every day. He is super cute, and it's super spoiled too. We were talking about that the other day. I don't think we've ever had
more than we are.
Yeah, I don't think we've ever had a pet quite as spoiled as he is. He's down here at the gypsy peppers, and they are super pretty, and you can tell even in the heat how productive they are. They are putting on and hardly affected, I think. Yeah. Sorry, I was trying to scoot it. It didn't want to go. But that is another reason that we love the gypsy peppers, because they handle the heat better than probably any pepper I think we've ever tried.
Yeah, I don't know if y'all seen that video that went around a year or two ago, but there was some woman, and she looked, I don't know, she looked a little bit crazy to me, but
she was excited.
She was, in her video she was saying, gypsy peppers, gypsy peppers, gypsy peppers. And it was kind of a little bit, I don't know, psychotic, I thought, but I kind of agree with her, you know, like if you're going to grow anything, grow gypsy peppers, because they do amazing no matter what.
Yeah, they are really awesome. So we still got some peppers in there, even though we picked some. It's probably, I don't know, what do you say, probably 2-3 pounds, something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
I think last week we had about 4-ish, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's what we had.
A couple I missed here and there.
They are really amazing though. I usually try and grow a lot of peppers. We do not like onions very much, so we grow peppers as a staple instead of onions in place of it. And we grow all of the peppers that we need for a family of 4 in this 4 by 16-foot bed for a year. So they are that productive. Having these really productive varieties really makes a big difference.
All right, well, I guess we'll let the camera cool off for a minute, and then we'll go on to the surprise crop that we didn't expect that was going to be ready to harvest this week.
All right, see y'all in a bit. Okay, can y'all believe that those pumpkins that we planted, I think it was at the beginning of June, whenever we harvested all of our potatoes, are already starting to get ready. Not all of them, but they are starting to. And we have quite a few that are ready. A little tip, whenever you're harvesting them, if you harvest them with a longer stem, they store a little bit longer. So we always try and do that. Sometimes they break, and those would be the best ones to use first. But they're so cute. I love pumpkins. I don't know why. Fall is my favorite time of year, so I am super, super excited about this.
This basket's going to get heavy really quick.
Yeah, I was worried about that. We should have broke this up into a couple of baskets. But I'm also running out of baskets, so we're just doing the best that we could. They are super, super cute.
Some of them are adorable.
If I'm not mistaken, I think these are the sugar pie pumpkins. I had someone give me these seeds, and I think that's what they are, but I saved seed from them last year, and they have just done amazing. I am so glad we just decided to plant these and not just leave this bed blank with nothing in it. I'm so, so happy about that. There's one way back in there, too.
They're still, yeah, I'll get over there in a
Okay.
minute. Trying to get the easier ones first.
I got you.
Before I go crawling in there.
But they are super cute.
And I'm wearing gloves, y'all, because these the pumpkin vines are pokey.
Yeah, kind of like squash and stuff. They really are a lot better to wear gloves.
Some of these are very decent size.
Yeah. Last year we grew this, and I can't remember. We had 1 or 2 plants, and we were like an ounce or so shy of 30 pounds. So I'm really curious, especially with as many plants as we put in here.
And there's some big ones. Look at that one
Yeah.
over yonder.
It is pretty big. Of course, these aren't meant to get super, super big. I think they're supposed to be like under 5 pounds a piece. But there are some varieties you can grow that are super, super big. I'm kind of thinking about doing that next year. I don't know.
I've always wanted to grow one of them record. What do you think about that one?
Ooh, yeah, I think that's great.
Okay.
It looks like something had clawed it or something and scarred it up. That's really wild. How it kind of healed itself. Yeah. That's really cool.
I've always wanted to grow one of them record-sized pumpkins that you like have to haul in with a forklift to the county fair.
Yeah, that would be really fun. Oh, that one's even got a little, look at the little stem on that one. It's so cute. I love it.
It's twirly.
I know. You cut that so perfect. I love it. But that would be really fun to do that. I don't think we have the perfect climate for that.
Great big stems.
Wow, how heavy do you think that is?
I mean, that's probably at least a pound.
Oh, wow, that's cool.
Some of them have got really short stems.
Yeah, yeah, you can't help it. But those are the best ones to use first.
I know there's one out here.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? Like, look at that. What isn't that a what is it called? A bushel basket?
Yep.
Yeah, and it's really starting to fill up. That is so exciting. That is going to get really heavy, though.
That one was hard to cut.
Goodness.
How about this one off in here? You think that one or no?
Yeah, I think we can go ahead and get that one.
All right, I'll give you this one.
Okay. Sorry about that, neighbors.
Yeah, if y'all hear somebody screaming because they lost their dog.
Gets away from them quite frequently.
Don't listen for nothing.
The ornery thing. That one looks really cool with the green, and that's neat.
Yeah, and y'all can leave these on. You put them up, like put them on your countertop, and they'll last for a long time.
Yeah, they're not like a winter squash or anything. Is it starting to dry up?
Yeah, they're still putting on more though.
Good.
More flowers.
Yeah, there are more flowers.
More pumpkins.
They're happy that we watered them. We're trying to decide if we should start over again. I'm on my verdict is no, but Robert really wants to try again.
I think it would be cool to have an October
Yeah, it would be nice.
crop
Love it.
of them.
It's so pretty. That's so nice. I agree, though. That would be really awesome. Like I said, fall is my favorite time of year. And in the fall time, we're usually harvesting
Oh, there's
more.
one. I can see one hiding in the bushes over
Oh,
here.
goodness. Well, be careful for snakes.
Oh my.
But that would be awesome to have another crop. I don't know. We're on the fence about it. So y'all leave a comment down below and let us know what you think, if we should or not.
Look at how pretty that one was
Oh, my
hiding off in
goodness.
there.
It is so nice. It's like perfect. I love it. You
That's
did
the
so
bad
good.
thing about these things, though, is once they start taking off, they will take off everywhere.
They really
You
are.
really got to hunt them down.
But at least they start turning orange and then it's easier to
Yeah.
see.
I'll figure out how to get back around through
You
here
need a
without.
hand?
Well, I just don't want to step on all the
Okay.
good stuff. I guess we want this one or no?
I think that one could use a little more.
So leave it longer.
Yeah. That one, though, back there, if you can get to it. This is kind of the challenge of pumpkins.
Oh, wow.
And they don't do as good, too, if you step on them.
There's
Like
a
we've
stem
done
on
that.
that one.
Oh, my goodness. That is adorable. That is so cute. I love it. But these are not happy if you step on them like the sweet potatoes. They shrivel up and die. So I don't suggest doing that. We'll go put this in the basket here. That is going to be one heavy basket.
Yeah, these even, I've moved some of these when I had to mow because they were out in the yard, and they even acted a little mad after that.
Yeah, they are, and they look so sad in the noontime whenever. All right, Robert cut the last pumpkin as the phone shut off. So this is what we ended up with. We ended up with this big bushel basket of pumpkins. We've got some okra, tomatoes, and peppers. And that's all that we have out of our garden this year, or right now in August. Y'all leave a comment down below and let me know what all y'all are harvesting in your garden. And I would also like to say a big welcome to all of the new subscribers that we had. We are so glad to have y'all, and thank you so much for subscribing and watching. And we just want to give y'all a really big warm welcome, and thank you so much for being here. Y'all don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Y'all take care, and we'll see you next time. Bye.